particularly, seem willing to sacrifice the poor to their utopian.
I don't think they're thinking that way. I just don't think they played it all out.
When push comes to shove, that's what they do. And it wouldn't take much thought to figure it out, because let's say you increase the cost of energy, and that's the price you pay to move forward to a hypothetically green economy. But you increase the price of energy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happens is that in any system that's hierarchical, and this is the left-wingers know this because it drives their whole philosophy, in any hierarchical system, when you stress the system, the disproportionate amount of that stress falls on the people who are in the lower rungs because they're barely hanging on anyways. So, you get a 1% increase in unemployment. You get a 5% increase in psychiatric hospitalizations. Well, why? It's because there's a bunch of people there who are right on the threshold of psychiatric hospitalization, and then they lose their job. It's like, that's the end of that. Right. And so even among birds that don't live in strict hierarchy, so non-social birds, not ones that hang about in flocks like crows, the birds will move into an environment, any environment, and the more able, in some sense, healthier birds get the best nesting spots. They're closest to the food, they're sheltered from rain and wind and all of that, so they're not psychophysiologically stressed. And so then when any kind of avian flu comes through, let's say, to challenge the bird population, the birds die from the bottom up.
I hate probably the most thing the thing that I think is the most annoying about Jordan Peterson's fucking rhetoric is his idiotic examples from nature, as though it is a comparison. You know what birds can't do? Build skyscrapers, dumbass. Shut the fuck up. The entire purpose of humanity is to overcome natural hierarchies and nature in general. That's why it's literally considered a fallacy to bring it up in a fucking argument. I hate it. Even though he's right about like this situation where, the
Hey Hasan,
the lowest rung of society
and life has not been the best, but you make the days much better for me.
Is
Thank you. Hassle.
The lowest rung in society have the most to lose. They lose the most. He's right about that. What he's not right about is the fucking bird theory. Okay? Like, making these sorts of naturalist comparisons in nature is so stupid. Motherfucker bird law specialist over here.
They always say, that's the old saying, when the aristocracy gets a cold, the working class dies of pneumonia. It's like, okay, so fine, increase energy costs. Well, what happens? A bunch of poor people fall off the map, like a bunch of them. And the more you increase the energy cost, the more that happens. And so if the price...
This is quite literally disgusting. Hey, dumbass. You know who actually suffers from climate change more? Poor people. Hey, idiot. Hey, dumbass. You're saying this because you're getting paid to say this. But by the way, whenever you see anyone who like fancies themselves to be a scientist speak out against climate change, know that their pockets are being lined up. There are millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on the table for anyone and everyone willing to fucking spread mistruths about climate change. What a ridiculous take. What a ridiculous, idiotic,
were birds.
insane take about climate change.
Open doors. People can open
like poor people suffer more because of climate change provisions increasing like the price of energy. What about poor people suffering more as a consequence of climate change, where their homes are fucked up and the government doesn't help them out? There's a difference between Katrina and Puerto Rico and I don't know, heartland fucking Texas, in the heart of Texas. When climate change impacts those areas, the poor areas get fucked over. The rich areas can survive. That's the real problem about natural disasters.
We have to pay to move towards a sustainable environment is increased energy costs, and it isn't. That's a policy decision. It doesn't have to be that way. The absolutely 100% inevitable consequence of that will be that you sacrifice the poor.
Okay, I need to see more of this. Okay. The cactus, you're right. I need to see it. All the low-lying areas in Houston are flood zones. Quick guess who gets homes built there? Oh, yeah, I know. I know who gets homes built there. It's poor people.
Rogan experience.
Wait, this is a 30-minute part of it? I just want to see the climate change part, man.
A set number of variables.
Yeah.
So that means you've reduced the variables, which are everything, difference. So this is a crisis of everything? It's like, no, it's not. Or if it is, if it really is, then we're done because we can't fix everything.
Well,
but we have to.
What they
Where is it? Where for cactus? Where? When does it get to the fucking climate change?
mean specifically is the human, what human beings are doing that's causing the Earth to warm.
Right, so right. But you have to include all these factors in the models to determine that. So all these factors. Well, what can you not include? Well, then by deciding what you don't include, you decide which set of variables are cardinal. And you have to make that decision in some sense before you even generate the models. This is a big problem. It's partly, it's not the only reason, but there's another reason, another problem that bedevils climate modeling too, which is that as you stretch out the models across time, the errors.
I want to know how much money Jordan Peterson is getting from the oil industry. No one, and I mean no one with even a little bit of fucking research around this issue will ever go against it. Will ever go against the scientific consensus on climate change. The only reason why he's doing this is not because he wants to be a heterodox thinker, but because he's absolutely getting paid, dude. No fucking shot. If he's doing it for free, that is really, that's really sad. Like, like I said, never fucking sell your soul for free, okay? Always at least make money. I mean, that's crazy to me. He's reaching so hard. Reaching so fucking hard to cast any sort of like criticism against climate change measures as he possibly can. Like anything. He's trying to do it in a more intellectual way. But
increase radically. And so maybe you can predict out a week or 3 weeks or a month or a year, but the farther out you predict, the more your model's in error. And that's a huge problem when you're trying to model over 100 years, because the errors compound just like interest. And so at some point, it's all error. In fact, it's already the case that even if the climate models are right, the error bars are so wide by 100 years out that we'll never be able to measure the effects of the changes we're making now. We'll never know if the changes we're making, to save the climate actually worked. We can't measure it. The errors are too large 100 years out.
What do you mean by?
Oh, so fuck it. I don't even think that that's true. But let's say if it was. That's just doomerism, dude. I mean, he's not right. First of all, let me just point something out here. He's not right. And it's wild that he's saying that as someone who's like a tenured professor. Well, not anymore, but
6 months. Rock on.
I'm a climate scientist, particularly in simulations. This guy's so stupid. I covered this in an introductory course and he's wrong. But listen. Listen, not only is he not right, but even if he was wrong, even if he was right.
Hasan of the City of Angels.
Okay, and the margin of error is too high.
Downtrodden, ye who is of broad
what kind of psychotic shit is this? It's just like straight doomerism. It's like, oh, we're gonna die no matter what, so why don't we go out with a party? Like, is that what he's saying?
Of lesbians.
Did you just say at Lowell Tyler, climate predictions have been mostly accurate? Like, as in, you assume that Tyler 1 was in here saying climate predictions are not accurate? I just love...
What? No actual scientist even remotely says that.
You say you hate to appeal to nature, yet you appeal to your instincts that eat meat? What a hypocritical cuck. Yeah, it tastes delicious, dude. I don't want to overcome it. It tastes fucking dank.
By the errors, like what errors?
Well, prediction error. So, look, imagine that you're going to predict how your life goes.
Okay.
Well, you can kind of do that. No, you kind of know that tomorrow is going to be somewhat like today. Okay, but how much is next year's day going to be like today? Well, somewhat, but less certainly, because you might get sick, for example. And then over a 5-year period, well, there's much more that has to be accounted for. And so
holy fuck. Well, guys, I think we need to stop worrying about climate change, because what if a meteor strikes tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like, humanity could be wiped out way sooner than we actually think. And there's actually errors in the predictive models anyway. I'm going to grossly exaggerate what those errors look like while simultaneously engaging in anti-science rhetoric and trying to make you avoid the fucking reality about what to do. Holy shit, he is such a he's actually a pretty good climate change denial guy, because he's not doing the routine, like it's a Chinese conspiracy shit. He's doing something different. He's doing something new and cool and unique. That's pretty cool, though.
Swerving at the bedroom tidiness genre into climate science. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
The probability that your prediction is correct decreases as you move forward in time. That's why we discount the future, right? So if you ask people, you want $5 now or do you want $5 in a month? They're going to say, well, I want $5 now. Well, you think, well, why is that? Well, if I have it now, it's certain. A month, well, there's a lag in there and anything could happen. And you can play games with people this way. And because people differ in the degree to which they discount the future, because how seriously to take the future is actually a near computationally impossible task to solve.
Wait, is this actually just Heritage Foundation talking points? I wouldn't be surprised, because that's always what they do, but I guess they updated the talking points since the last time I talked about like climate change. I don't remember these. Like, I don't remember a lot of this. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the climate change talking points usually are like, you know, it's the same as COVID. It's the same as COVID deniers. The cure can't be worse than the fucking disease, you know, that sort of shit. We used, like, anti-vaxxers use the exact same shit that climate change deniers use against COVID.
How seriously should I take the future? Well, it depends on how uncertain things are. How uncertain things are they? Well, I don't know. Classic example. There's a chicken, and the farmer goes out every day and feeds the chicken. And the chicken thinks, man, I've got a good friend in this farmer. And then one day it's dinner time, and the chicken's the main course, right? And so the poor chicken used induction to derive certainty. The farmer comes every day. He didn't realize there was a massive flaw in his theory. And one day that flaw reveals itself and everything falls apart.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense when you're talking about chickens and farmers. But
Yeah.
when you're talking about human beings and
so we could
CO2...
play a future. Well, we could play a future discounting game. So this is how this sort of thing is calculated. This discount curve. So I could say,
is Joe Rogan?
I'll give you $5 now or $5 in a week.
Did I just see a little baby fucking piece of pushback from Joe Rogan on behalf of the scientific consensus on climate change? Just a fucking literal, like, second, but that was cool. I would love to see that more.
Which one do you want? And people say $5 in a week. Then I say, okay, I'll give you $5 now, or I'll give you $10 in a month. It's like, okay. $10 in a month. Okay, I'll give you $5 an hour. I'll give you $7.50 in 2 weeks. Or I'll give you $50 an hour. I'll give you $500 in 10 years. And so imagine you do that with all sorts of amounts over all sorts of time frames. Then
this has absolutely nothing.
Hey Jordan Peterson,
and I mean nothing to do with climate change.
So people don't
and not only is it so bad,
donkeys.
I feel like even his fans are gonna fucking be like, "Oh, this is stupid." Like this is actually, I mean, he really fucking went, he really went ape mode here. Like this he's just doing, he's just trying to actively and desperately and deliberately shift the fucking conversation away from the main point, which is the existence of anthropogenic climate change and the actions that humans need to take in order to reverse that.
JP looks
he does
like
not want to talk about that.
So
he's talking about uncertainty and certainty and different paradigms when the conversation should be revolving around the science. Maybe the profit incentive that, of course, gets in the way of
4 months
us listening to the scientific community and what they're saying about avoiding climate change. Literally the weirdest. I don't usually hear this sort of stuff.
The fatal flaw in JP's logic is that scientists aren't chickens, Lamau.
Straight up. The benzos really fucked him up. Yeah, they ate his brain, bro.
You can compute a discount curve, which is how much people devalue the amount a dollar is worth as it progresses out into the future. And what you generally find is that impulsive people discount the future more heavily. That's actually the definition of impulsive. And you might think, well, the impulsive people are wrong. It's like the ant and the grasshopper.
I love that the impulsive people that are fucking hyper-focused on their short-term goals in this argument are people that are taking action against climate change. Like, he's trying to say that the impulsive people are the people, not the fucking mega corporations that straight up do not care. Do not fucking care, okay? About the potential consequences of climate change, the potential consequences of, like, our fucking global emissions and what that is doing to the climate. None of that matters. That's not the impulsive people. The impulsive people are the ones who are impulsively saying, we need to do something about climate change because scientists are freaking the fuck out.
You know, the grasshopper's fiddling all summer, and then he starves to death in the winter, and the good old ant who packed away the supplies he's doing fine in the winter. He sacrificed the present to the future, and isn't that sensible? Yeah, it's sensible. You should save. Except, well, what if it's 1920 in Germany, 1923, let's say, and you're in a period of hyperinflation? It's like grasshopper won because he spent all his money before it became worthless. So should you save or not? The answer is it depends. And then there's a further answer, which is it depends on things that you actually can't predict. And so it's actually a computationally impossible problem to figure out how much to discount the future. It's actually impossible, which is why we vary so much in it. Part of that...
God, I hate these fucking nerds, dude. Dude, stop. Stop. Stop doing this fucking dance. Just say what you mean. What you mean is you don't care. That there's a degree of uncertainty to fucking dealing with to recognizing the potential existence of anthropogenic climate change, which, by the way, that degree of uncertainty is very fucking low. Okay, and he's greatly exaggerating it. That's why he has to lie and say, like, oh, we're off. Our models are off. Our models are off by a lot. Okay? Just say what you mean, dude. What he means is, we don't know. What if climate change isn't real? What if the scientists got it wrong? And then just live your life. Don't look at what is happening in front of you. Because that's the thing. I don't know what the terminology for this is, but with, like, flat earthers, you're acting like his argument made any sense. I mean, his argument is not an argument. It's just like him fucking doing LaFontaine tales as he always does. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, and then there's a wise man was crossing the road and the chickens came home to roost. And also that's why, $1 today is more than $100 tomorrow. Like, he's trying desperately to like, come across as intellectual while making an anti-intellectual argument. Okay. So it's going to be quite difficult for him to actually put together a cohesive strategy here. So he's just doing whatever he can. But the problem is, there is no coherent explanation for what he is, what he's trying to say. That does not revolve around just straight up anti-science rhetoric. Okay, just straight up being an anti-science douche nozzle. That's the point. That's the problem. That's why he's dancing around it. That's why he can't fucking just say it. Okay, that's why he can't say what he actually means. Because if he said what he actually meant, even an ape like Joe Rogan would turn around and be like, it sounds like you're saying, don't look up. It sounds like you're saying don't care about, climate change. And the funny part about climate change is that it is basically turned into the flat earth, right? What is the thing I always say about flat earth is that, like, the earth feels flat. Science tells you it's not, but the earth feels flat, right? And with climate change, you don't really see the most devastating impacts of climate change immediately, except now we do see it. Okay? We do actually fucking see the devastating impact of climate change, because extreme weather conditions that used to happen erratically are now happening with great certainty, with higher frequency, with higher magnitude. So, like, it's impossible for you to not recognize what is happening in front of your fucking eyes, dude. Shit that used to pop off like once every 10 years is happening every fucking year. So,
Frogman.
I feel like it should be easier to convince people, but then there are the Jordan Petersons of the world who are, in my opinion, definitely paid by the fucking oil lobby. The oil industry is the fossil fuel industry, and the anti-climate change industry in and of itself is gigantic, very fucking wealthy, have endless amounts of money. They will always be able to fucking do this. Okay? They will always be able to fund people. They will always be able to change people's minds, propagandize against them. And I think that's what's going on. They got the boy.
Reason is the magnitude of our prediction error increases the farther out we predict.
Yeah, but the grasshopper and the ant analogy doesn't work because they're based on food. And the food that the ant supplied and stored and stocked away is still good. Inflation doesn't mean jack shit to an ant because they don't deal with currency.
Well,
they
the other way an ant could follow up.
But you know what I'm saying?
Well, fair enough. But ant colonies also have wars. And so it's just as possible that the ant will store up all this food and another ant colony will move in, and that'll be the end of that. And this is a huge problem. Well, you're very unlikely to be robbed and pillaged unless you have wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so the ability to store wealth across time.
What? No, motherfucker. Poor people get robbed every day. It's quite literally the opposite. At least society offers some kind of fucking control or protection mechanism when you're rich. When you're poor, nobody cares. That's precisely why, like, when you look at theft, wage theft is way, way larger than any other kind of theft. There's nothing that comes anywhere near wage theft every year, year over year. This idea that, like, poor people are not robbed every fucking day is a silly one, and it's also a rather privileged one. You only think poor people are not robbed every day because you have normalized that robbery, because under capitalism, exploitation is seen as a part of a functioning, well-organized economy, okay? And even if we don't talk about exploitation, we talk about, like, the illegal parts of that exploitation, like I said, wage theft. Even that is seen as a normalcy, a normal thing. Okay? So, the idea that like poor people are not robbed, it's actually people who are wealthy that are robbed is a silly notion, a very silly one. One only with a profound amount of privilege would be able to say something like that without ever second guessing themselves.
To decrease the risk of the catastrophes of future, that's the problem in some sense that civilization set out to solve. How can we stabilize things over a long term enough to make long term investing a reasonable proposition? Here's a positive spin off of that. So I worked on the UN committee that wrote the Secretary General's report on sustainable development. I worked on the Canadian subcommittee, to be technically accurate, and I was by no means the head of that. I worked with the team that worked on that, but we edited and wrote and rewrote a fair bit of the.
Okay, this dude definitely is getting money. This dude is definitely getting money, bro. No shot, homie is not fucking mobbed up.
Document. And so I did a lot of work.
Why the fuck is he a part of any subcommittee that even touches or goes near climate change? Why? Halfway through the 12 Rules book tour in 2018, Peterson had lunch with the Texan billionaire Jeff Sandifer. Sandifer had made his fortune in the oil industry. Jordan Peterson's multi-million-dollar corporation run by his daughter turns out podcasts, live coaching sessions, t-shirts, hats, self-help guides, and surefire bestsellers. His new book revives the machine that made him globally famous and nearly destroyed him. I don't think it's like a singular oil billionaire, oil baron guy who did this. I think him being a fucking Albertan Canuck has played a more profound role in his benzo crippled COVID IQ reduced brain. Okay, straight up. I think him, like, people from Alberta are just built differently. Isn't he Albertan? Isn't he from Alberta? Is that not? I mean, he might not be. I might be wrong on this. But he sure does sound like an Albertan to me right now. When I hear Canadians be like, when I hear Canadians discount, science, I'm always like, that's, and start talking about how they want to suck off the oil the fracking directly from one of those pipes. I'm thinking to myself, this homie is Albertan at his heart. At his heart of hearts, homie is Albertan, even if he doesn't realize it. Okay? Yep. Oh, he's from Edmonton, Alberta. Oilers. Yep. Oh, that's right. A lot of my town relies on Oilers. Many of you say that the Dragon of Chaos is actually a feminine figure, but in real life, the real dragon is the one that crushes my back walls. One of those oil fracking machines, hydraulically fracturing and fracking. I think about that all the time.
In the background, learning what I needed to learn to work on that committee with some degree of, what would you say, qualification. I read maybe 200 books on ecological development and economic development, the relationship between the two. And
200 books?
Oh, yeah. I was over about a 2-year period. And so, a lot of it was on oceanic management because I did realize.
I don't believe that at all, by the way. Joe Rogan is such a dumbass, dude. God, all you need is like someone who sounds like halfway intellectual that uses academic language to tell you he reads books, and Joe's like, wow. No, he didn't fucking read a single book. Shut up, dumbass.
That one thing we're doing that's extraordinarily stupid on the ecological front is destroying all the marine life within 40 miles of the shores. And all the marine life is within 40 miles of the shores. Like, you think the oceans, they're vast. It's like, right. Yeah, but they're empty. Yeah. Except for where the sun can shine to the bottom. And that's the 40 to 200 miles, say, on the coastal shelves. And we've like trawled those bare like 7 times. It's a catastrophe. So, but that was the only real environmental catastrophe that I encountered in all that work that I thought was both credible and addressable. We know how to fix that. You make marine protected areas like now.
Oh my God, motherfucker read 200 books on the ecological disasters that the fossil fuel industry may or may not have fucking caused. And the only thing he saw was, I guess, the hyper specific, like, deep sea drilling. That's the problem. Or no, not even deep sea drilling, offshore drilling. That's all he saw, bro. He read 200 books and there's nothing. First of all, I don't even believe that there are 200 fucking anti-climate change books out. There probably are. There probably are 200 of those books. Those motherfuckers literally just write a new one every week. There's so much money, unlimited fucking cash. Of course they write another one every fucking week.
You.
He read the titles and pictures, looked at the pictures only. Yes, I saw a bird covered in oil gunk. And I thought to myself, well, this is unacceptable. Well, this is suboptimal. I myself, of course, being from Edmonton, would take a shower in oil if I could. But animals in the animal kingdom, well, it's quite nefarious, really. Lobsters actually are a part of a natural hierarchy quite similar to humans. And lobsters also do love taking long, hot showers in oil. But of course, some lobsters do not. Offshore drilling is bad. Oil sands, Andy. Yeah, exactly, dude. Quite specific that there's only one kind of drilling that's bad in Jordan Peterson's world, okay? But all other kinds of fossil fuel is good.
I look forward to MasterChef every day. Can't wait for more to come.
Very cool.
National parks that you need about 15% of the total coastal territory really protected. And that solves that problem, essentially. And then everybody has fish because the fish, they don't just stay there, they move around. You can have your cake and eat it too with marine protected areas. But mostly what I learned, and this was really cool, was that this was so cool, and I really believe it's true. The fastest way to make the planet sustain.
He's about to say some bullshit. Whenever he says, and this is really true, you know he's about to say some bullshit, okay? Okay, spoiler alert, it's not true. It's never true. When he says that, it's never true.
Sustainably green. The fastest way to make the planet sustainably green and ecologically viable is to make poor people as rich as possible, as fast as we possibly can. Because the thing about poor people is that, well, first of all,
they live about that.
They're not resource
efficient.
No, he's not. They use a lot of resources to produce very,
he's not
very
right
little
about
outcome.
that. What am I saying?
And so that's a problem.
Wait, he's like totally wrong about that. What the fuck? I mean, I guess what he's trying to say, okay, he's both right and wrong. But if that was kind of true, if what he was saying was true, okay, here's why I can read this in a charitable way, and I will tell you why it's true. And here's why I can read it in a very uncharitable way and tell you it's patently false. Let's start with patently false. America. The American fridge consumes more electricity than, like, I don't know, an entire Zimbabwean family for an entire year's energy consumption. Okay? So, like, obviously, when you're wealthier, especially on the global scale, you consume a profound amount of power. Okay? So there's that. So becoming wealthy in that situation actually does have a incredibly damaging impact on the climate. However,
he's talking about
the inverse of that, or the other side of that, is that if you do become wealthier, then you become more educated, then you become less likely to populate the planet. Your population growth is going to diminish, and ultimately, I guess, like, if you become wealthier, like, you will be more cognizant of climate change. I don't fucking know, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. I think that he's talking about EKC, which has been largely disproven. bad
Yes,
camera
sir.
angle. You look cross-eyed. What? What? We need to raise the poverty floor and lower the wealth ceiling. Degrowth is needed. I mean, he's so wrong, by the way. If he thinks that, like, rich people use less resources, he's just fucking wrong. He's doing the industrializing nations are actually, you know, their output is really fucking bad. Meme, I guess. Maybe that's what he means. But ultimately,
I
again,
just broke my hand,
if
I
you look at
think.
the average
Probably
fucking
gonna go
Indian
to the
citizen and
urgent
their
care to
fucking
see.
consumption, their
Still
energy
watching your
consumption,
stream till I can
and
have
compared to
somebody
the average
die with
American,
pain.
who is much, 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 much wealthier, the average American's energy consumption is profoundly higher than the average Indian's energy consumption.
Slash and burn agriculture, for example. But even more importantly, when you're insecure on a day-to-day basis, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You're not paying attention to the broader environment, that hated word, around you. Mm-hmm. And you can't even really worry about your children's future in some real sense because, like, no, you don't understand. Lunch is the future. We don't have lunch, we're hungry, and that goes on for like a month. We're dead. That's the future. So what happens? If you can get resources to the poorest section of the population.
Don't you fucking love when conservatives cry about like other problems that they are literally advocating for at the systemic level, to use it as a fucking conversation starter against yet another problem that they're fucking advocating against? It's like the same endless, never-ending fucking argument wherever they go. Whenever they go, hey, he's not conservative. You are a baboon. You are so fucking stupid that if you think Jordan Peterson is not conservative, as he's patently fucking denying climate change, okay, and the scientific consensus surrounding it, which is like one of the most conservative fucking things you could say, other than his transphobia, other than his like quite literal fucking appearances on prominent conservative shows, the fact that he like literally went on a fucking talk show circuit as a conservative, that he says he's conservative. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that you don't think so. It doesn't fucking matter. But you're so fucking stupid that you deserve someone like Jordan Peterson, who is a pathetic fucking loser inherently, but idiots like you uplift him regardless. Okay?
13 months, let's go.
You deserve him. He is your intellectual. He is the best you will get. Okay? Also, you know, go buy NFTs, dumbass. You fucking brain dead idiot, dude. You absolute fucking dingus. You absolute baboon, dude. Why? Why? How? Not why, but how? How have you survived thus far on this planet? How? It is mind-boggling to me that perhaps science has gone too far. Because honestly, at a certain point, you would have been fucking decapitated by a bear, okay? You would have not had the wherewithal to fucking go inside the cave, okay? You would have been like, oh, is that a fire? Me like, I will touch it. And you would have fucking engulfed yourself in flames and died the death that you actually deserve as a fucking species, okay? How are we on the same playing field? How are we both humans? Thank God. Thank God for fucking society consistently progressing to a degree where baboons like you can still operate amongst human beings. And think for a brief moment that, you are just as intelligent as everyone else around you. Motherfucker said, Jordan Peterson is not a conservative. Holy fuck.
I read 300 books that said JBP was a classical liberal like Alex Jones. 16 months.
As I was saying.
Kiss Hasan and chat.
As I was saying. I don't even know what I'm fucking saying anymore. Because it broke my brain. Someone saying Jordan Peterson is not conservative is the dumbest thing I can ever Like, it doesn't get dumber than that. It's quite literally the dumbest thing that anyone could ever come up with.
As soon as they get to the point where they have some hope of a genuine future, especially for their children, they immediately become concerned about broader environmental considerations. And then the attempt to make the environment habitable and sustainable, that comes up of its own accord at a grassroots level and spreads everywhere. And the evidence for that is clear. And so this is one of the things that really bothered me about COP26. So, and that was based in part on this.
What is that?
That was the big climate meeting in the UK just a few months ago. You know, the one where all the COVID rules were suspended so the important people could talk about important things. In any case, I thought if the politicians who were discussing environmental sustainability were serious, especially the left-wing ones, and I say especially because the left-wing ones always say, well, we care about the poor and dispossessed. It's like, do you really? When push comes to shove. It's like, is it the environment or poor people? If your idea is that we have to limit growth to save the planet.
Bro. It's quite literally the poor people that are getting shafted the hardest by the fucking dangerous side of climate change. But of course, the unfortunate reality is that Joe Rogan has never encountered a poor since he got the fucking Spotify deal and has totally forgotten how the other side lives. So I don't think he's going to be able to, adequately drive the pushback here that is necessary.
If we limit growth, poor people starve. Because whenever we put limits on economic development, who suffers? The rich? Are you really? That's what you think? And you're on the left. You think if you put limits on economic development, the rich will suffer. That runs contrary to every theory that your whole political philosophy is based on. You put limits to growth on, the poor stay poor or get worse. Doesn't matter because the planet has too many people on it anyways, which it most certainly does not. If you are serious about the environment and even vaguely concerned about poor people, all of your policies would be devoted to making the poor rich as fast as possible. But that would violate the anti-capitalist presumption, let's say, that the reason for environmental degradation in the first place is, say, entrepreneurial and free market development, which it most certainly isn't. That's actually completely bad.
Okay. I'm done. Literally end it, dude. I'm about to Minecraft myself. I'm about to video game myself. I'm about to Grand Theft Auto off of a fucking bridge. No shot. This motherfucker. Oh my God. I think the benzos literally rotted his brain. There is no shot that someone could say something so categorically untrue, just so patently, blatantly false. Like, he just looked at the sky is blue and said, actually, it's wrong. The sky is not blue. And it's not white either. It's black. It's very dark. It's pitch black during the day. My man said, deregulation has not caused climate change. Deregulation has not led to environmental catastrophes. What are they doing in Alberta, bro? What are they doing? Are they just getting fed a fucking healthy diet of fracking cum all day? Is that why he thinks this way? There is no fucking shot anyone could believe this. Like, there's no way that anyone who's read one book, and I assume Jordan Peterson has read one fucking book. You know what I mean? I can't say the same about Joe Rogan, but I can't say that about Jordan Peterson. Like, he is a fucking college professor for a very long time after all. I'm sure he's read a single book, like just opened it, okay, and accidentally fucking stumbled across a page. Anyone who has done this knows already. It's not even, fuck the books, man. Watch a movie. XQC. Okay, the Lion of Level, XQC, who speaks fluent Pepegan, barely fucking speaks English, knows more than Jordan Peterson does on this issue because he watched Dark Waters. Okay, like a movie. He watched a movie and he understands that deregulation leads to fucking gross and horrific fucking natural disasters and destroys the environment better than Jordan fucking Peterson because he watched a movie. Like, on accident, if you survived on this planet for, you know, however many years that you've been alive, you would have fucking come to that conclusion that deregulation 1000% leads to environmental catastrophes. Wild.
Backwards. Make poor people rich. So what should your policies be devoted to making the poor rich as fast as possible? But that would violate the...
By the way, the funniest part about this is like, it's never about how do we make the poor people rich as fast as possible. If he truly believed this, then he would be for wealth redistribution. Okay? But because Jordan Peterson is a conservative, of course he is not for wealth redistribution. Of course, the only way to make the poor people as rich as possible is by free enterprise. That's right. If you'd like to do... if you'd like to make the poor rich, then, you know, allow them to buy NFTs. Right? Do not increase the wages. That's communism. Yeah, dude. I love that, dude. Open markets and deregulation will solve climate change. Social justice and equity are core aspects of climate resilient development pathways that aim to limit global warming as they address challenges and inevitable trade-offs. Widen opportunities to ensure that options, visions, and values are deliberated between and within countries and communities without making poor and disadvantaged worse off. High confidence. Didn't Joe Rogan used to be a big regulation guy? I remember him talking to Dave Rubin. Yeah, I know, but he's like, I think he's falling asleep. Hilarious that his whole theory is make the poor people rich when the country most responsible for doing that globally in the last 40 years has been China. Yeah, I wonder what he has to say about that. What happens to the global poverty rate in the last fucking 40 years if you take China out of that equation? Because things are not looking a lot better for every other country. I'm going to be honest with you. Things are looking really, really bad for most other countries. The only way that we can fucking take a W is when we factor in China and Chinese development. I wonder what he has to say about that.
The anti-capitalist presumption, let's say, that the reason for environmental degradation in the first place is, say, entrepreneurial and free market development, which it most certainly isn't. That's actually completely backwards. Make poor people rich. So what should a COP26 been about? That's fairly straightforward. It should have been about trying to generate as much energy as we possibly can to be distributed as widely as possible in the cheapest possible manner.
And what would that be? Nuclear?
What? Bro! He said the climate summit had to be about literally fucking... The climate summit is about actually fucking pumping the earth for more of its natural resources, for more fossil fuels. Yo! This is hilariously bad. Okay? Unless he says like nuclear, and that might be a saving grace here. But I don't think he's going to say nuclear. Maybe he will. I mean, I have my disagreements with the nuke boys, but even then, like, I mean, even that is better than someone being like, we need to suck the cock of this earth until there is nothing left, okay?
No, well, I would say ultimately likely nuclear, and probably not fusion, because it's so, fusion has always been a year away, 10 years away for the last 50 years. We haven't managed it. Nuclear, likely. France managed that very effectively. We can do it.
And we still have a weird idea of nuclear because of the several, whether it's 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, there's been a few disasters.
Wait, nuclear likely in the next 10 years? So what does he mean right now? Motherfucker's a planet-raping neocon posing as an intellectual Jesus? Yeah, I mean, dude.
Yeah, more people die every year from solar energy than die from nuclear.
Who dies from solar? Well, of course.
Guess how you die from solar?
Sunburn?
No, you fall off the roofs when you're installing it.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's gravity.
Right. Yeah, gravity.
Yeah.
I hate this man. I hate him so much. What a fucking idiot, dude.
And, you know, that's a good example of unintended consequences because systems are complex. And when you change them, you think only good things will happen. It's like, well, you know, so you asked about energy.
Yeah.
There's also a environmental progression towards clean energy.
Yeah.
So,
oh, dude, he's about to do the Donald Trump clean coal shit. Yo, tell me he's about to say that the oil giants are actually cleaning up their act.
The poorest people burn wood. Well, that's not so good because, first of all, they cut down the trees and burn the trees. And second, if you're concerned about pollution, especially particulate pollution, especially indoors, which kills, I think, 7 million children a year. 7 million children a year are killed by indoor particulate.
Dude, I'm sorry. Trans people, do not misunderstand what I'm about to say. But Jordan Peterson going on the Joe Rogan Experience and doing this level of fucking Heritage Foundation talking points against every other alternative until you arrive at the point that, like, yes, actually oil is not that bad, fossil fuels are not that bad, is significantly more damaging than his transphobia. Because, like, people are either transphobic or they're not. A lot of people are transphobic. And the transphobia is unacceptable and incredibly damaging, don't get me wrong. But I'm saying this right here is the worst thing I've ever fucking seen him say and do. Like, literally, this is the most damaging, pound for pound, the most damaging thing that Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan has ever allowed to fucking reach the airwaves. It's incredible. I cannot comprehend how Joe did not push back at all. It is wild that he is doing like 30 uninterrupted minutes of like very carefully chosen climate change denial, where he doesn't openly state like, no, oil is the way to go. But he's saying like, oh, well, you know, poor people use fucking wood and that's bad. And, you know, nuclear in the future is the way to go. But like, we're not there yet. And we need to pump out as much energy as possible and immediately give it to as many people as possible. Like, everything he's saying here leads to, in the most Jordan Petersonian fashion, to arrive at the conclusion that he has. He will never say it, probably, because that's Jordan Peterson never actually gives you the conclusion. He just sets faulty premises, one after the other, after the other, after the other, until, you know, the conclusion is very obvious, but he won't say it. Okay? In a Petersonian sense. Exactly. I did the meme. Shut up. You know what I mean. Jordan Peterson is the fucking king of offering descriptive, offering non-normative, descriptive sentiments over and over again, totally bastardized premises, okay? Never actually giving you a stance. And that's precisely what he's doing right now. He's doing that argument where he's like he's whittling it down. He's whittling it down to just the inevitable conclusion that, you know, you have to fucking you have to do oil. You have to do fossil fuel energy.
Particulate pollution.
What?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well,
7 million indoor particulate pollution. You meaning from starting fires in homes, like to keep warm,
without good ventilation systems. Yes, exactly. These people are poor.
That's a real number? Can you look that up?
Yes, that's a real number.
I need to know that that's a real number.
Yeah,
that seems
that's
insane.
Good. We should double check it. Yeah.
7 million children die every year from indoor particulate pollution.
Yeah, and so you want to burn wood? Well, charcoal's better. Coal's better than that in terms of pollution as well. And then fossil fuels are better than coal. And then natural gas is perhaps the cleanest of the fossil fuels. And maybe, I don't know if you know this, but this is so funny too.
Is it funny? There it is. You said it.
Every year from indoor particulate pollution.
Yeah. And so you want to burn wood. Well, charcoal's better. Coal's better than that in terms of pollution as well. And then fossil fuels are better than coal. And then natural gas is perhaps the cleanest of the fossil fuels. And
bro, this is literally oil propaganda. This is like oil man propaganda, dude. Bro, this is like straight up like this. You know who says this? What was that fucking lawyer guy that like quite literally works for the oil, like the oil lobbyist guy who like also does videos on this platform? He's like a neoliberal. He looks like a fucking, he looks like Matt Gaetz. What's his face? Bastiat, yes. Straight up, bro. This is like, this is just straight oil lobbyist propaganda right now. Everything he has said so far. Natural gas is the cleanest of fossil fuels, though. Still not good, but better than coal. Yeah. Also, I love that he just said, like, natural gas, some say it's the cleanest, but I don't know. Like, he's still...
Maybe better than coal.
He
Coal's
is an
better than
oilman,
that.
okay?
In
Homie
terms
is
of
a
pollution
straight
as well.
oilman, okay? He does not... Even with the natural gas thing, he's like, well, it is cleaner, but I don't know.
And then fossil fuels are better than coal. And then natural gas is perhaps the cleanest of the fossil fuels. And maybe, I don't know if you know this, but this is so funny too.
Perhaps the cleanest.
The United States has cut its carbon emissions 15% in the last 20 years. It's gone down, not up, down. Why? Fracking.
Fracking.
Yeah, fracking.
Really?
This thing that environmentalists hate. It's like, don't frack.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because fracking has definitely polluted some water supplies.
Not really.
No? It hasn't polluted any water supplies?
Look.
Did you ever see
everything pollutes.
Oh! Yeah, I've literally... Dude, this is literally oil lobbyist talk. Bro! Bro, this is straight up this is actually just what oil lobbyists say. This is actually just what oil lobbyists say. Like, he is just straight up. At first I was saying, like, oh, he's coming up with like very interesting and unique takes on climate change. Dude, this is the most conservative I've ever seen him, by the way. Like, this is old school conservatism. You know what I mean? Like, this is not even a fucking wedge issue. Like, this is straight up like conservatives used to be like this. They don't even talk about climate change as much. I don't know why. Or when they do, they just say it's like, it's a fake. They'll just be like, it's fake and gay. Okay. China made it up. Climate change, not real. Okay. But this is like old school. This is so old school conservative that like it feels like tort law. You know what I mean? Tort reform. This is as old school as like tort reform. You know, straight up. Like, this is not something I usually hear from conservatives anymore.
I got COVID chat. It got me. Sag. At least I have Poggers content. Hassle.
Bro, it went down 50% if it did because of COVID lockdown and lack of people on the streets, not because we're making new fault lines in Oklahoma. Yeah, except Oklahoma has also gotten like 500% increase in magnitude and frequency of earthquakes directly because of our fracking. So he went from offshore drilling is bad to fracking good. No, he has a fucking very specific agenda here.
I have COVID too, Pogo.
He's straight the fuck up. Like, this is the most, you're an oil baron. Like, you're just saying this because you're in the pocket of big oil.
Something. And so the idea that there's any source of energy that we can derive that's not going to produce some pollutant as a consequence, that's the kind of nonsense you hear from people who say things like net zero. We're going to hit net zero by 2050.
Oh my God.
I don't have COVID.
He's saying every source of energy is actually, oh my God. He's saying every source of every energy initiative is pollutant. Like, there's a pollutant there, and it has like a negative impact on the environment. So like, we should use the worst ones. Also, renewable energy is not a real thing. Bro, this motherfucker is like straight up. What do you call it? Not No Country for Old Men. What was the fucking movie? There will be blood. Okay. That's why he's dressed up like this, bro. He's literally about to go excavating. That's right. I'm here to tell you, Joe, I drink your milkshake. That's how this works. And I'm here to drink. And you know who doesn't drink the milkshake? The poor. I drink the milkshake and then I bird mother it down to the poor. I suck it from the ground and then I spit it into your mouth as a poor. That's how we do it, Joe.
Looks like we just started watching Joe Rogan. This should be quick.
I purchased 5 acres off of the coast of California from this man who did not know any better, but there was gold in the ground. Black gold, Joe.
SMH.
Right,
like,
but
no, we're not.
fracking does have issues. Okay, more than
Yeah, there we
90% of the world's children breathe toxic air every day.
Yeah, how many of them,
Is
Joe?
this,
How many? 93% of the world's children under the age of 15 years. 1.8 billion children.
But this is about polluted air. I
have
don't think
COVID
this is
either.
necessarily about indoor particulate pollution. But it's only.
Yeah, but
it
that's
says,
that's all indoor.
Okay, it says World Health Organization
Sorry, it's
estimates that.
600,000, so I must have been citing figures over a decade.
There is
not-
a part
not
on
year.
here that says it lowers the life expectancy of up to 7 million
yeah, there
people
we
per
go.
year, but it doesn't say they all die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
okay.
So, but this
Thank
is.
you for clarifying
They're
that.
talking about what though? They're talking about pollution,
Look,
right?
it says
Air
there,
pollution.
together up the second line there. Together, household air pollution from.
That's right, Joe. And you know what's polluting it? Not clean coal.
As high.
You know what's polluting the airwaves? Solar panels, Joe. That's right. They're dying of sunlight. Renewable energy is killing them, Joe. Why? Why do the communists want all the poorest to die from wind turbines polluting the airways? Incredible, dude. Incredible. This is like just straight. Motherfuckers out here
Hasan
looking
and I
like
will
an
have
oil
this gonna
baron
stream, there will be
doing
blood.
oil lobbyist propaganda. I respect it.